to Wildflower. My name is Romina Rasmussen and I am the pastry chef at Les Madeleines in Salt Lake City, Utah. Today we're going to make a mascarpone and nectarine tart. So I have 3 blind baked shells, and what that means is that I've baked my shell with some kind of a liner. I use a cupcake wrapper and then either rice or beans to weigh it down, and that way you get a shell that you can fill afterwards. So, and also I've taken some mascarpone cream, a little bit of powdered sugar, a little bit of brandy, and folded some whipped cream into it. The nice thing about mascarpone is that it's so soft that you don't really even need a mixer. So I'm going to fill my tart shells with the cream, and it's delicious. I don't want to add so much other stuff that I cover up the flavor of the mascarpone, which is naturally a little bit sweet on its own. So that's one of the sugars, one of the ingredients that you can play around with a little bit if you would like, depending on how sweet you like things. And one more. So nectarines are wonderful when they're ripe, and that's when you want to use these because they'll be nice and soft and pliable in order to do what we're about to do with them. And the best way to cut the slices of nectarine is to hold it in your hand and then from the top to the bottom just slice through, and your knife will actually rock on the pit of the nectarine. And if your knife's not too sharp, then you can just poke it a little bit first to make a slot for it. And then when it's ripe, you can cut them right off of the pit really, really easily. And in order for us to make this tart, we also want them to be pretty thin pieces so that we can make them coil. So I'm going to start on the outside and I'm going to work my way in. So let's slide that over. And I'm going to make it look like a flower. So I'm going to take my pieces of nectarine and I'm going to kind of push them in, and I'm going to alternate them as if they were petals on a flower. There we go. And then I'm going to keep going towards the center until I have something that vaguely resembles a rose. And I wipe my hands off a lot because I don't want the juices to kind of make my crust soggy. So as you go along, wipe off your hands. Okay, and then we're getting towards the middle. Oh, it's starting to look very lovely. So if my nectarine were not ripe enough, I should say, then they wouldn't bend well enough to do this. This also would work with peaches. You can wash them and get the fuzz off of it. And I'm going to find a nice thin piece and roll it into a circle and stick it in the center. So now I have a nectarine tart that looks like a rose. And that's how you make a nectarine and mascarpone tart.